Lesson 9.1, Circle and Parabolas. What we should learn. Recognize a conic as an intersection of a plane and a double napped cone. Write equations of circles in standard form. Write equation parabolas in standard form. And then use the parabolas to solve real life problems. So a conic section, it's the intersection of a plane and a double napped cone. You see it there's an upside down cone and a cone. And if you draw a plane through there, here you get a circle. Draw it slightly, you get what's called an ellipse, and we'll talk about that in the next lesson. And then we have a parabola, if you go cut down this way, and if you cut straight up and down, you get hyperbolas. So we're going to study these over the next couple of lessons, how each of them work. But we're going to start with talking about circles. So the basic equation of a circle is the equation you see right here. It is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where the center of your circle is h and k, and the radius of your circle is r. So if we go to a circle, see it's written right here again. My center is h and k. There's my r. It's my radius. So that's a basic form of a circle. If it's at the origin, 0, 0, then h and k are 0, and you get this basic one, x squared plus y squared equals r squared. That's a circle. Now let's do some things with the circle equation. So first, the point 1, 4 is on a circle whose center is at -2, -3 as shown. Write the standard form of an equation of a circle. So the standard form of an equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. We already have h and k. Our center is right there. So this is -2 and that's -3. We don't have r, but r is just the distance between these 2 points. That's r. There's a couple ways to find the r. One thing you can do is plug everything in, plug this in for x and y, plug it in for h and k, and then figure out what r is. That's one way. Another way to do it, you can also do the distance formula. If you remember your distance formula, this is the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So either way, you're basically doing the same thing. So you could plug in your x and y into here and find out what r is, or you could just do the distance formula. Either way works. I think I'm going to do the distance formula because I just feel more comfortable with it. This would be my x2, y2, x1, y1. I would get 1 minus -2 squared plus 4 minus -3 squared. Double negative makes that a positive 2. I get 3 squared. Double negative, that makes a positive 3. I get 7 squared. So you get square root of 9 plus 49, so square root of 58. That's my r. Now that we have everything we need, let's plug it all in. My r is a square root of 58. Let's rewrite it first and we will simplify it. We have x plus 2, double negative, plus y plus 3, square root, double negative, and I got square root of 58 squared. Well, when you square it, the square and the square root cancel out, and you get x plus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 58. And that's the equation of our circle. Okay, let's talk about how to sketch a circle. But first, we gotta identify its center and its radius. So this, it's a kind of a hodgepodge thing. So how do we identify the circle and radius? First one, we're gonna rearrange. We wanna have all the x's together and all the y's together. And we want the constant on the other side. So we're gonna rearrange it. In this case, the x's are actually already together, so the y's, but we want that 6 moved over. -6 from both sides. We're gonna have this. I'm gonna give myself a little space and you'll see why in a second. And then step 2, we want to complete the square. Complete the square for both x's and y's. So we're gonna complete the square on both of these sides. Remember how to complete the square? You're gonna add b over 2 squared to both sides. Here, -6, that's my b. -6 divided by 2 squared is -3 squared, which is 9. We're going to add 9 here. We'll also add 9 here. We're going to do the same thing for the y's. There's my y. It's my b for my y. So -2 squared equals -1 squared, which is 1. So add 1 here and add 1 here. Once you complete the square, the general reason you complete the square is because you want to factor. And now I'm going to factor the x and y's. So if you want to factor that, remember the trick is always the thing before you square it. So it is x minus 3 squared. Factor the y's, same trick. It's always a thing before you square it. Y minus 1 squared. Simplify all this side. So we get 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. And that's our center equation. Now once you have that, I can find my center with 3 and 1. And I can find my radius. Remember, this guy is r squared. I got to take the square root of that, which is 2. There's my center, there's my radius. And if you want to graph, all you have to do is go to your center, 3, 1, right there. Then we're just going to go the radius in each direction. We're going to go 2 to the right, 2 up, 2 left, 2 down, and then circle it. 2 to the right there, 2 up, right here, 2 to the left, 2 down, 1, 2, and then try your best to connect it all. It's my bad circle, but that's how you draw a circle. Okay, let's find the x and y intercepts of the circle and graph the circle. So I can find my center already. Inside opposite, 4 and 2. I can find my radius. Square root of 16, that's 4. If I want to find the x and y-intercept, you do it like you always do. Do the y-intercept first. If you want to find the y-intercepts, you're going to set x equal to 0. We're going to go 0 minus 4 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 16. So this is negative 4 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 16. So 16 plus y minus 2 squared equals 16. Minus 16 minus 16. You get y minus 2 squared equals 0. Square root. I get y minus 2 equals 0. Add 2 to both sides. Y equals 2. That's my y-intercept. My y-intercept is going to be at 0, 2. If I want the x-intercept, you're just going to set y equals 0. We're going to get x minus 4 squared plus 0 minus 2 squared equals 16. I'm going to go a little faster. This is 2 squared. That's 4 equals 16. Minus 4 minus 4. X minus 4 squared equals 12. Square root it. In this case, we're going to get plus and minus. It's plus and minus square root of 12. Then add 4. You get x equals 4 plus and minus square root of 12. So those are my x-intercepts. And if you want us to graph all this, we could. Center is 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Right there. That's 4, 2. And then our radius is 4. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. That's why our y-intercept is there. Then up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we connect all those. Ish. And I guess this would be 4 plus square root of 12. And this would be 4 minus the square root of 12. And that's how you graph it with x and y intercepts. That's circles. Next we're going to do parabolas. So parabolas are the easiest to tell right off the bat if it's a parabola because you only have one squared. Circles, ellipses, all the rest are going to have an x and a y squared. Parabolas are only going to have one of them, either an x squared or a y squared. But we do have to learn more vocab with parabolas. Here's a basic parabola. And the key things that I know are the vertex. Hopefully you all know what a vertex is. We have the axis symmetry right here that cuts it in half. The two new things are the focus and the directrix. They're hand in hand. They're equal distance from the parabola. The focus is right here. It's going to be the same distance away. You can connect to this point as the directrix down here. So all that's what the focus and directrix do. They help build a parabola. When you make a parabola, these points here should always be equal distance from the focus and the directrix. So we're going to have to learn how to use those things to graph our fancy parabola. Now there's two equations for a parabola. There could be a y squared graph and there could be an x squared graph. The x squared one is the one we're all used to. It's a parabola opens up or opens down. The y squared ones are going to open sideways. They're going to open right or open left. Here are the basic formulas for parabola. We have x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k squared. Our vertex is still going to be the same. Inside opposite will be h and k. 4p, that's going to have to do with the directrix and the focus. And really it's all about the p. The p is the distance away from the focus and directrix. Let's say we have a parabola where the vertex is right here. And let's say p is like 3. Then all we're going to do, if we know our parabola opens up, you're going to take the p of 3 and you're going to go 3 up. And that's where your focus is going to be. And then you go 3 back. And that's where your directrix is going to be. That's what p is. P is the distance from the vertex to your focus and the directrix. And that's pretty much the idea. It's the same thing if it's a y squared. When it's y squared opens right or left. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But that's the general idea. And this is one where you don't have your vertex as the origin, 0, 0. So you plug in 0, 0. Here we go. Here's our vertex. Notice this is whatever the vertex is. You add p to that and you get the focus. And you add p backwards to get the directrix. Same thing with upside down. This is a negative x squared graph. Over here, positive opens to the right. So if you have a positive y squared, it opens to the right. So positive x squared opens up, a negative x squared opens down, a negative y squared opens to the left. But it's the same idea. Find out where your vertex is. Now you can go right p to get your focus, and you go left p to get your directrix. Let's do an example. Find the standard form of an equation of a parabola with a vertex of the origin and a focus at 0, 4. That's all they need to give us. With the parabola specifically, I'll draw a little graph of what's going on. We're at the origin, and our focus is at 0, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that tells me everything I need to know. Now I know it's a normal x squared graph. So it's going to be x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. That's all I need to know. If it opens sideways, it would be a y squared problem. But since this is, it's an x squared problem. And then we have to find our vertex, which is at the origin, 0, 0. And all we have to do now is find the p. The p is the distance from the focus. P here is going to be 4. So now we get x squared equals 16y. That's an acceptable answer. Or you could write it, get the y by itself, divide by 16, and you get x squared over 16 equals y. Either one of them is fine. How about if they give us an equation like this? They want us to find the focus of the parabola given by this thing right here. It looks a little ugly, fair warning. First, we're going to do what we did last time. We're going to collect the x's and the y's, like rearrange x and y. Now in this case, I'm just going to want the x's by themselves. We could minus the 1/2 from both sides. Y minus 1/2 equals negative 1/2 x squared minus x. And then 2, we're going to want to complete the square. Now last time we had an x squared and a y squared. That's why we put the x and y's on the same side, and then we moved over to the constant. In this case, we only have one x squared that we're going to keep the square on. We just want to move everything away to get the x's by themselves. Now, before you complete the square, you cannot complete the square with a number in front. So you have two choices. You could factor it out and then complete the square, which we'll do later, or you could just get rid of the number in front. In this case, we're going to get rid of the number in front. Let's get rid of that negative 1/2 by multiplying everything by negative 2. If we do that and we distribute, we get negative 2y plus 1 equals x squared plus 2x. Yeah. Now we have any ugly fractions from the x squared. And now we can complete the square. So we're going to get the middle term divided by 2 and square it. I get 1 squared, which is 1. We add that here, and we're going to add that here. And then we factor it, simplify. We get negative 2y plus 2 equals x, always then we square it, plus 1 squared. Now we get to here, and I want to remind you what a general formula looks like. For a parabola, it is 4p y minus k equals x minus h squared. We want to make it look like that. So I need the y by itself here. We're going to factor out the negative 2. Actually, factor out a negative 2, that makes it a negative 1 right here. If you factor out a negative, you're dividing by a negative. I get this equals x plus 1 squared. That's in general form. They want to find a couple of things. We want to find the focus given by this. So first, let's find the vertex. The vertex is inside opposite, outside follow. There's my vertex. I personally always find it easier to graph these things if you draw a little sketch. So I'm going to draw a little sketch here. So negative 1, 1 will be right here. Now, is our parabola opening right, up, left, down? Look what we have. It's actually a negative x where it's open down. It's negative in front, so negative. It's open down. So something to that effect. Again, it's just a sketch. I just want to see where I'm at. My vertex is negative 1 and 1. Now the focus is always on the inside of the parabola, where the parabola is. It's going to be over here somewhere. It'll be something like that. Well, I know when I find my p, because p is the thing that helps you find the focus and directrix, all I gotta do is subtract p from here to get my focus. If I wanted directrix, I would add p from here to get my directrix. That's it. So let's find that p. What's p? P is a number that outside of the y minus 1. So in this case, 4p is negative 2. Then we just solve for p, divide by 4, and we get p is equal to negative 1/2. So all we're gonna do is go down negative 1/2 from there. We're gonna get 1, because it's the y value. We're doing 1 minus 1/2, and you get 1/2. So my focus should be at negative 1 and 1/2. So all I do is find my vertex, and you go either up or down. In this case, since the parabola is opening down, it's going to go down from that. My focus is at negative 1 and 1/2. There's that one. Find the standard form in the equation of the parabola with the vertex of 1, 0 and the focus of 2, 0. Okay, I would say start off, let's graph it. Draw a little sketch to make sure, are we using x squared or are we using y squared? My vertex is at 1, 0, right there. It's my vertex. And then my focus is at 2, 0. 2, 0 is my focus. That lets me know that my graph is opening this way. That is a y squared graph. We're going to use the y squared one. So it's going to be y minus k squared equals x minus h times 4p. The general idea is that 4p is always next to the thing that's not squared. We could go back up here to look at our formulas. 4p is always next to the non-squared term. Whatever the squared term is by itself, and then the 4p is on the outside of parentheses of the non-squared term. So we have that. All we gotta do is find basically 3 things. We gotta find the k, the h, which is our vertex, and then we gotta find p, which is the distance from the vertex to the focus. So we have it all. Vertex is h and k. 1 goes with the x, 0 goes with the k. And our p, now this is a positive p because it opens to the right. Our p is 1 because we just moved over 1. It's like that. And we get y minus 0 squared equals x minus 1 times 4. And that's our equation. And that's the video.